All right, today we're gonna do a booty strength class, emphasizing balance. So there's a ton of glute work and abdominal work when we're trying to do balance work. So there's gonna be an emphasis of balance and oblique work today. And so today we're not gonna do any chaturangas though. We're gonna do a sun A where we move into what's called a Tadasana back bend. And so what's really, really important is that you don't dump your pelvis to be able to do that, because then you're hinging in the spine and you've got bad load transfer through the spine and it just hurts. So you want to engage the glutes, push the hips forward as you lift up the chest. So we want the hips to move that chest forward. And just like on all the other classes, I'm going to move to face you, to face the side wall, so you get side views, front views, probably back views as well. So we just want to keep flowing the best that you can. The more you do this, the more you learn it, the less you'll just be able to keep flowing. So we're just going to start, hands at our heart, setting our intention. And our intention, acceptance for where we're at today, the available given strength, gratitude for being able to participate into a practice. So inhale your arms up, engage the glutes, push your hips forward, exhale, fold. So you want to hinge at the hips, going as far back as you fold. Nice. Now squeeze those cheeks for the half lift, stick out the chest, out the tail. Exhale, fold. This inhale, you're going to come up on top of your tippy toes, bend your knees, drop your hips, and just tuck your chin for right here. This is like our down dog for today. And now inhale, lifting up the hips, straightening out the legs. Exhale, lower the heels and fold. Bring your arms out to the side, contract your shoulder blades back and together, lower abdominal, squeeze those cheeks to help pull you up, push the hips forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, scalp the chest, out the tail, exhale, fold. This inhale coming up on top of your toes, bending your knees, dropping your hips, tucking your chin. Just pausing for a moment. And now inhale, lifting up the hips, straightening out the legs. Exhale, lower the heels and fold. Bring your arms out to the side, contracting your shoulder blades back and together. Squeeze those cheeks, lower abdominals, come all the way up. Push the hips forward, that's what's going to lift the chest. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half lift, scalp the chest, out the tail. Exhale, fold. This inhale coming up on top of your toes, bending your knees, dropping your hips, tucking your chin. Allowing humbleness to come into the practice. That is the energy of acceptance. Inhale, lifting up the hips, straightening out the legs. Exhale, lower the heels and fold. Bring your arms out to the side, contract your shoulder blades back and together. Squeeze those cheeks, lower abdominals to come all the way up. And then this time, hands to your heart. All right, inhale. I'm going to bring the arms up. Interlace the fingers except the index finger. We're just going to begin to move around. Just circle. We're just going to help warming up. Now, some of you have some really tight shoulders, so they don't allow your arms to go back. Keep moving, okay? Now, if that's the case, I need you to let your hands go, because the problem is, as you try to bring your arms back, what you're inadvertently doing is shoving your head forward, and you're going to create a lot of neck and shoulder pain while you're trying to help yourself out. So an indicator for you, if you have really tight shoulders, a tight upper back, let go of those hands, okay? Now, we're going to engage the glutes. We're going to pause in the center, engage the glutes, the lower abdominals. We're going to shift our weight. We shift the weight into the left foot. The left hip goes out to the side as we side bend to the right. Now, you may have to take that right hand down. That's all right. Bring the left arm back, re-engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals. We're not trying to see how far you can go, because because I need you to breathe, because there's a lot of abdominal work here, there's a lot of glute work right here, because we need to protect the spine, okay? And you also need to breathe, okay? Now, inhale, coming on up, and exhale, side bending again, okay? Now re-engage the glutes, the lower abdominals. Again, it's not about how deep we can go. Bring those arms back. Like today for me on the left side, it's way challenging to try to find that same depth. So I have to embrace that so I don't frustrate myself. All right, inhale, bringing the arms up. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hinge at those hips, reaching for the front of the room or the front of your mat as you fold. I need you to bend your knees. Take your feet apart, maybe up to hips width apart. Some of you might not have to do that. You're going to cup the heels from behind. You're going to wrap the elbows. I need you to bend your knees. This is not about your hamstrings. Tucking your chin. This is about compression. And we're just holding here. Chest on the thighs, which means you still might be down here in the squat looking position. Perfect. And tucking the chin and just breathing. And release the hands. Good. You're going to bring your arms out to the side, contracting the shoulder blades back and together, squeezing those cheeks to help pull you all the way up. And then hands to your heart. All right. We're going to take our feet about hips or shoulders width apart. And all we're going to do is squat down. Okay? Now, the weight's placed on the fourth and fifth toe aspect of the foot, which means I'm not collapsing into the arch of my foot. If I do, that pulls my knees in. If we go to that fourth and fifth toe, last two toes, helps pull the knees open. We can help protect them. And I'm sitting back, okay? Our chairs, our toilets, everything are back here. They're not under here, okay? So we engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, contracting the backs and the armpits towards each other. And of course, you can go as deep as your hips, your ankles will allow. Okay, even though I know I just touched my knees. Now, inhale, coming on up. Good. And now, we're going to do that again. A little differently this time. Bend your knees again, drop the hips. Now we're going to begin to come up on top of our tippy toes. Okay, now, we don't want just the quadriceps to do this, so engage the lower abdominals. Engage the glutes so there's some help for those quadriceps. Now you might be able to bring your arms out into cactus, or you might be able to bring your arms up over your head. Remember, this is not the goal if our structure does not allow for that. Good. And now we're just going to inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, lower the heels down towards the floor. Very nice. All right. Pause. Inhale. Reach up. This time you're going to take your right arm underneath your left arm for eagle arms. Now, not everybody's going to be able to do this. If that's the case, then you just grab the opposite shoulder. You're going to take your right leg, cross it over. So notice when I crossed over, I had to sit into a single-legged squat on that left leg. Okay. Now, some of you got really tight hips, and I need you to move into a figure four position. Okay. Now, if you drop your right hip down, the pelvis is malaligned, and so I need you to hike up that right hip. And notice how that will pull your foot closer. It's pulling mine closer. Until you get comfortable, don't worry about where the arms are at. Ideally, we want them up in front of your face, but I know you got to see. Okay. Now, from the side, notice how my hips are going back. Of course, this is really hard for me. Okay, my hips are going back. They're not under, and the knees going forward. Remember, biggest joint in the body takes the biggest brunt, not your poor little knee. Okay? Now, we're going to unravel the leg, and you're going to begin to send it on back for a flying eagle. Engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, but your left knee needs to be slightly bent. If you lock that knee out, and you're not going to get good glute engagement, so there needs to be that slight bend. Re-engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals. Woo! Hey, bring your arms out to the side, then contracting the backs of the armpits towards each other, finding length, finding expansion. Good. Now inhale, coming all the way up, bring your arms up over your head, and now exhale, bring the left arm underneath the right. Remember, you're going to cross your arms if that doesn't work for you. All of a sudden, I couldn't remember how to do that. All right, now inhale, the left leg up. Cross it over. Remember, we're sitting, we're crossing over, we're sitting into a really tall chair, bar stool, okay? And bring those arms up. If you drop your left hip down, bring your left hip up higher, engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, and weight is into the heel right here. Good. Now, unravel your left leg, send it on back to find your flying eagle. Remember, we're going to engage the glutes, lower abdominals. Remember, we're all going to look different in the pose. We don't want to get wrapped up in too many things except creating stability. If knees locked out, unlock it. Engage the lower abdominals, squeeze the cheeks. Unravel the arms, finding your airplane. So now we're going to contract the backs of the armpits towards each other. Maybe you're parallel to the floor, maybe you're not. Maybe this hurts your lower back and you got to bend your knee. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, and release. All right, now we're going to inhale, lifting up the right leg, grab it with the right hand, left hand onto the waist. And don't ever feel you have to go any further than this at all, okay? Remember, we need to embrace where we're at for stability. This is a lot of strength going on right here. Engage the glutes, lower abdominals, upper back. If you want to go further, because you know that you can, left hand comes down to your foot. Again, we pause and ground. There's no reason to rush any of the poses. Maybe you can take your right hand to the foot as well, okay? And then maybe you can entertain the idea of maybe straightening out the leg. Now, it's not about straightening out the leg. Maybe your leg's right here. You don't want to shrug your shoulders like this in order to straighten out the leg. You're achieving nothing then at that point except tight shoulders, okay? Now, and release. If you can, keep that leg up in the air. If you touch the floor and come back up, so what, okay? Now, open up the hand. Now remember, watch my shoulder. Shoulders open, find the inside of your foot. You may need the wall to help, okay? Again, we still engage the glutes. If you're having trouble with balance, the arm goes out to the side or you're close to the wall, or you can bring it up over your head. And then bringing your heart forward as you send the leg on back. And then maybe you tip forward, but the temptation as you tip forward for a lot of people is locking the knee, because I know I do it as well. Make sure that knee stays slightly bent so you can keep those glutes active. Good. And then release, coming back to center. Releasing the leg, hands at the heart. Nice. Now, inhale the left leg up, grab it with the left hand, right hand onto the waist. Again, we're always getting tall. Re-engage the glutes, lower abdominals, upper back. Good, you feel grounded, you feel like you can go further, lift right hand to the foot. Lovely. You think you can go further? Make sure there's stability though. Glutes, abs. Bring that left hand down. Good. Okay. And again, we're just entertaining the idea of the leg going out. If you can't get the legs straight, that's a beautiful opportunity to stretch these muscles that bend the knee. The hamstrings cross the knee, the calves cross the knee. You got two key itty-bitty muscles that are at the knee that help initiate you to bend your knee. They might be tight. Okay, go ahead and bring that knee on back. Good. And notice how slow I'm moving. It's because I need to move slow today. So remember, shoulders. The shoulder opens, find the inside of your foot. You need the wall, you find the wall, okay? Now slide bend into your right leg. Squeeze those cheeks, draw the belly in, bring the arm up. Keep that foundation tight as you bring your heart forward. The leg goes back. And again, then you might tip forward. It's okay that the foot's not straight ahead. It's okay that you fall over. Inhale, coming up, exhale, release. We get our strongest strength gains when we fail, when we fall out of the pose. Keep that in mind. We had to learn to walk by falling down, okay? We got better and better each time that we fell because we learned, okay? All right, so we're gonna start hands at the heart, front of your mat, top of your mat. Engage those glutes, lower abdominals, push the hips forward, lifting up the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, stick out the chest, out the tail. Exhale, walk or jump out. I'm only doing 2 chaturangas today. Engage the glutes, contract the upper back, lower abdominals, lower down. Inhale into an up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Inhale, your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, kick up. Now while you do this, exhale to your knee. Think contracting the backs of the armpits towards each other. Inhale, up. Abdominals are tight, glutes are tight. Exhale, knee to elbow. Good. Inhale, up. Backs of the body is contracted. Inhale, up. Last one. Elbow to knee. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, the lunge. Ground the back foot. Squeeze those cheeks, the lower abdominals. They pull you up into your warrior two. Palms up today. Okay? Now find some depth. Re-engage the glutes, lower abdominals, contracting the backs of the armpits towards each other. Just settle into the pose. If this bothers your shoulders, just lower the arms down. There's no reason to have the arms shoulder height if it hurts. Now, find an inhale. Exhale, take the right hand to the outside of your right foot. And we're opening up into this version of extended side angle. Now, if looking up hurts your neck, then look down. I like to be on my fingers. Maybe you want to be on your hands. But engage the glutes, the lower abdominals. Now, bring your left hand to your waist. Walk your right hand out in front of you. We're going to ground over your left leg. Notice I'm letting my left foot drag along the mat so I can have some help with balance. Squeeze those cheeks, draw the belly in. Coming up into a half moon. Again, if your knees locked out, slight bend. Squeeze those cheeks, drawing the belly in. Take that left arm, reach for the ceiling. Again, think contract the backs of the armpits towards each other. Nice. Now, squeeze those cheeks to help pull your hand off the floor. Now, here we go. Keep squeezing those cheeks. You gotta bend the knee to place your left foot back onto the floor for your warrior two. So you may have to scoot your left foot back to find your original position and then straighten out the front leg. The palms up towards the ceiling. Here we go. Straighten out your front leg now. Pivot your toes around, hands onto your waist. Engage the glutes, lower abdominals, lift up the hip, lift up your chest, push the hips forward. Exhale, fold. Now, elbows point towards your back wall. Okay, so you can see mine pointing through my legs. Slide the shoulders down the back. So as soon as I slide the shoulders down the back, that helps lift up my tailbone up towards the ceiling. And that's all we're doing. We're just lifting up that tailbone, sliding the shoulders down the back, and just pausing. Good. Now walk your hands around towards the right or for the front of your mat. We're going to heel toe your right foot out so we're off of a balance beam. Straighten out the front leg. Bring your back leg in just enough to get the left heel onto the ground. We square those hips up. And then we just fold over the front leg. Just like in the standing version of this, if you can't get the legs straight, that's where you get to maybe straighten and bend to help loosen this up. Will you tuck the chin? Good. Now, bring your hands in front in a prayer position. Squeeze those cheeks, draw the belly in, those glutes and abs pull you up to a standing position. Exhale, lace the hands back behind your back. Begin to ground over your right leg. Let your left foot drag, especially if you're having trouble with balance. Okay, now re-engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, the upper back. And this, we're just to. And I'll tell you, your ankle is going to tell you when to stop in this move. Okay? We don't want to wobble too much. We're going to wobble anyway, regardless of how good your balance is. Release the hands to the floor, hands in front of your foot. Now we squeeze those cheeks again, slide the shoulders down the back, tucking the chin. And again, it's not how high we can get the leg. We want to make sure it stays in the glutes. So if the hips are opening, I need you to rotate those hips back down, and it may lower your leg down. It lowers my leg down every time. Okay? Now, bring your left foot to meet the right and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your arms out to the side, contract your shoulder blades back and together. Squeeze those cheeks to help pull you up. Push your hips forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back. Engage the glutes, lower abdominals, upper back. Lower down. Inhale to your up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg. Now remember, contract the backs of the armpits towards each other. Engage the glutes, the lower abdominals. Exhale, they stay tight as you bring your left elbow to your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale to your elbow. Inhale up. Exhale. You're real strong in the upper body. Good. Last one. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, low lunge. Ground the back foot, squeeze those cheeks to help open you up into your warrior two. And knee up on top of the ankle. Engage the glutes, lower abdominals, contract the backs of the armpits towards each other. And of course, find the depth. You can go deep, okay? And as you get tired, you just begin to back out of it is all you need to do. Now, find an inhale, exhale, take the right or the left hand to the outside of your left foot. And we're opening up. Remember, re-engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals. You can look towards the ceiling, or you can look at the floor. But I now need everyone to look at the floor. Right hand onto the waist. You're going to slouch a little bit now. You're going to stretch out your left arm. You're going to begin to ground over your left leg. Let your right leg drag a little bit. Slide bend into your left leg. Squeeze those cheeks. Opening up. Into your half moon. Remember, if it knocks you out, you either moved a little too fast or a little too far for the body. Okay? You can take that top arm, reaching for the ceiling. Again, glutes, abs, backs of the armpits towards each other. Nice strong torso for these arms and legs to move off of. Now squeeze those cheeks to help pull you up. Begin to bend your left leg and find your warrior two again. Again, you may have to slide the left leg or the right leg back. Good. Re-engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals, the upper back. And you can look over the arm or the hand if you choose. Now squeeze those cheeks to help straighten out the leg. Pivot your toes around, hands onto the waist. Squeeze the cheeks, inhale, lift and open up the heart. Exhale, fold. Placing again, the hands just go right underneath the shoulders. We're going to slide the shoulders down the back. That helps lift up that tailbone so we can keep the hamstrings in the stretch. Good. You're going to begin to walk to your left. So face the front of your mat. Straighten out your front leg. Bring your back leg in just enough to get the right heel onto the floor. Squaring those hips up. And folding over the front leg. And again, if you can't get the legs straight, it's just an opportunity to try to work. If you have a block, grab a block. Nice. Now, bring your hands in front of your left foot in a prayer position. Squeeze those cheeks, draw the belly in because it's the glutes and abs that pull this torso up off the floor. Exhale, lace the hands back behind your back. Begin to ground over your left leg. Squeeze those cheeks. And then begin to find your toppling tree. Again, glutes are active, abs are active. Your left knee is not locked out. Release the hands as you fold into your standing splits, sliding the shoulders down the back. Again, look at your back leg. If it's lifting open, close it back up. Toes facing the floor. Now, bring your right foot to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bringing your arms out to the side. Contract your shoulder blades back and together. Squeeze those cheeks, draw the belly in. Coming up to standing, bring your hands to your heart. All right, so we've got tree next. All right, tree. If you're having a lot of trouble with balance, you got a little bit of a kickstand. That's okay. Maybe your foot is on your calf or shin. Maybe it's high up into the leg. You also have the option of a half lotus position. Okay? And while we're here, bring your hands to your heart. And we engage the glutes, lower abdominals, upper back. Doesn't matter where you're at, just embrace where you're at. It's the whole point of each and every single pose. Okay, now, if you want to grow branches, you grow branches. Growing branches helps with balance anyway. So, and you know what? Trees get blown around, so if you're moving around, and you're just stable and calm about the whole thing, perfect, okay? Bring your hands back to your heart. And now release the legs, shake it on out. Good. Got a fine tree on the other side. Might not be the same as you did on the right side. You are not at the knee though. Though I do tell my clients if they're gonna have their leg there, they can't touch the body. And it makes it 10 times harder. So once we get our position set up, engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, contract the backs of the armpits towards each other. Your clothes will also dictate where your foot position is. I usually wear clothes where I can't get my foot that high. Good. And now bring your hands to your heart. Release the leg. Good. Here we go. Face the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up, squeeze those cheeks, lift up that heart. Exhale, fold, squeeze those cheeks for the half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back. Pause. We're going to drop to the knees. We're going to curl our toes under, walk our hands back, and then stand on our knees, okay? So fingertips either go up the spine or down the sacrum. One is not better than the other, but if you have to dump the pelvis to get the hands up, you're definitely better off taking the hands down. It's also a matter of shoulder flexibility, okay? We engage the glutes, the lower abdominals, elbows towards each other. We push the hips forward to lift up the chest. Now the gaze can go up, but this fatigues a lot of people's necks. So tuck the chin instead of just dropping the head back. Good. We're just stretching the front of the body. And then inhale, coming back up. We're going to uncurl the toes, sit in between the toes, or the feet. Take our hands back. Hip bones come up towards the rib cage so we can get the entire quadricep. And only allow for about one fist between your legs if your legs come apart, okay? And then bring the hips up. The reason I stop you like that and then lift up the chest, okay? Because most of us, when we're coming to a yoga class, want to stretch the tight muscles. If we allow those legs to open, we're not stretching the very muscles we're trying to stretch here, okay? Because it's the outer leg that's typically the tightest. I'm being really gentle on this particular one. Okay. And then release. You're going to bring your hands out in front. Curl your toes back under. You're going to inhale your right leg up. Exhale, you're going to swing your leg through. So your right knee lines up on the right wrist or the hand, and then the left foot is in the general direction of your left wrist. Okay? All right. Not everybody's going to get this. A lot of people are going to be right here, okay? And that's okay. We're trying to square those hips up. And we're just trying to walk out maybe, okay? Now, it's not about doing this, okay? Then we're stretching the wrong muscles. So if you're one of those ones that are doing that, please curl your back toes under, square back up. Let's say your hips are really off the floor and it just flat out hurts. Get a pillow and put underneath the hip, okay? Otherwise, you'll never get that released, okay? And it's okay that this is just a variation of stretching your hips. Okay, curl your toes under. You're gonna inhale, lifting up your right leg, shaking it on out, bringing your right foot to meet the left. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, swing through for your pigeon. Again, it's not about being 90 degrees. It's not about negative judgment if you're not able to get into that 90-degree position. We're just trying to square up. We're just trying to figure out where we belong in the pose so we can get the most out of the pose. We can't get the most out of the pose if you're too busy comparing yourself to somebody else who has a completely different structure. So keep that in mind. It's about what you can do, as always. And release. So when we release this one, I just want you to have your, now roll onto your hip. You're going to take your right leg, you're going to swing it around, and then you're going to lie onto your back. Okay? You're going to bring the legs up, hands behind your head. You're going to straighten out the left leg, draw the belly in, and you're going to just twist. Now don't reach for the knee with your elbow, keep your elbow back. Okay? You're just holding it there and just nice and slow. You're just going to the other side. Again, if you're trying to touch with that elbow, just get it back. It's a huge habit. And then switch sides. It's not to say that that one's bad. This one's just different. Drawing the belly in. And when we go really, really slow, it gives those abdominals a chance to work, switch sides in a way different way. Okay? And then just coming back around. Good. And one more time, each side, just nice and slow, drawing the belly in. Good, and just switching sides. Good. Bring both knees in, hug the knees in towards the chest, feet onto the floor. Feet about hips width apart. We're going to press through the heels, lifting the pelvis up towards the ceiling. It is really important. That is the pelvis, the pubic bone heading up towards the ceiling. We're not leading with the lower abdomen. We're not leading with the belly button. We are in a hip extension. Your glutes are the prime hip extensor. Okay, all you have to do is just come up higher up onto the shoulders, squeeze those cheeks. Interlace the hands underneath you if it's available. If it's not, don't worry about it. You can scooch those shoulder blades closer towards each other. And what I'm going to have you do is just bring your feet a little closer and just shift your weight into your left foot, but don't lift up your right foot off the floor. I just want you to keep those toes on the floor because the most important thing right here is your pelvis not rotating or dropping. And then we're just going to switch to the other side, again, engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals. Good, and then coming back to center, and then lifting up your right heel off the floor. Again, just noticing how much that left glute has to work. And then switching sides. Nice, and release the hands to the floor, lowering both the hips to the floor, hugging the knees in towards your chest. And now, straightening out your left leg, straightening out your right leg. Now, if you have a strap, grab a strap and wrap it around your foot. If not, just have your hand right on the leg somewhere. Not way up here where you have to bend the knee. We want that leg straight. So wherever your hands land for this. Okay, because if you bend the knee and pull it closer, then you're just overstretching the hamstring at the pelvis attachment instead of getting the true tightness. Good, and then we're just going to send that leg on out, and now bring your left leg up. Again, straightening it out again. For some people, the toe is very available. For some of us, it's not, and so you need to bring those hands back down. It's just a nice, easy stretch for those hamstrings. Now bring both knees in towards the chest. We're just going to lift those hips up off of the floor. If you're not able to do that, just keep your hips on the floor and the legs are just straight up in the air. Good. Now just begin to take the legs over your head. They don't have to touch. But if this is something you're not able to do, just hug your knees in towards your chest. Okay? Now, nice and easy if you're in plow, begin to roll out. And now take your arms out to the side, dropping your knees to the left as you look to the right. Just a nice, gentle twist. Nice, coming back to center. And now taking the legs to your right as you look left. Good, coming back to center, hugging your knees in towards your chest. And now extending your legs all the way out in front of you for Shavasana. Feet apart, palms are open, away from the arms are away from the body. Just taking a few moments to let everything acclimate. Good, now begin to bring awareness back to your breath and back to your body. Wiggling your toes and your fingers, the ankles, the wrists. And bringing your arms overhead for that nice big stretch as you come back into your space, hugging your knees in towards your chest. And rolling to the right or to the left. Just pausing. And now coming up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes are soft or closed so we can seal in the practice of acceptance, of gratitude. Namaste.